Hi Scorpio, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nina and today we're doing your April 2020 predictions. Obviously with everything that's going on right now, we may not be getting a whole lot of like external stuff going on. I'll try to focus a little bit more on internal issues. We'll see what comes up anyways. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm very excited. This may apply to Scorpio Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Keep in mind that this is a general reading, so it may not apply to everyone, and that is okay. Take what resonates with you and leave the rest that doesn't. If it does resonate with you, if you are able to gain something from this reading, I would love to hear it in the comments down below. And give the video a like, share it with your friends, family, loved ones, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification to know when I upload my videos. And if you want to book a personal reading with me, you can do so at Sinfulpluto.com. I'll be linking it down below. And if you want to find me on social media, you can do so on Twitter and Instagram at Sinfulpluto. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so what's going on for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus in April 2020? That was way too many cards, I felt like. What's going on for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus in April 2020? Okay. So we have the Knight of Swords reversed and the Five of Swords reversed that flipped over and fell out. Okay, we have the Page of Wands, Empress reverse, King of Wands reversed. We have the Eight of Swords, and bottom of the deck is the Five of Wands. Interesting. So this is a little bit intense, Scorpio. Five of Wands. This talks about conflict, whether it's inner conflict or external conflict, you know, conflict within yourself or something that you may be dealing with other people. That's really interesting. It seems as though there's a clash of egos and kind of just like bickering and fighting and arguing, and it doesn't seem very fun, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. And we have the Five of Swords reversed, which says that this may be some sort of petty drama. It really seems like petty drama, and just something that could have been avoided, or this may be something that has been brought up before, like something from the past that just keeps on being brought up and like dragged out, and just like beating a dead horse with a stick is kind of what it seems like with this Five of Swords. I don't know if this is you, Scorpio, or if it's another person, but it seems as though drama from the past keeps on being brought up just to kind of further like twist the dagger into the situation, to just further make it worse, to make someone like bleed out for some reason. Like it just, this is interesting. And the King of Wands reverse might be the person who is doing all of this, because the King of Wands is right under the Five of Swords reverse. So this King of Wands may potentially be a fire sign. It could potentially be you, you know, I don't know who it is, but this is someone who on the outside, like they're very charming, they're very fun, they're very lively, charismatic, you know, exciting, the life of the party. But behind closed doors, completely different person. This is the person who wears a mask, right? And they play it off like they're this cool, chill ass person, but really, none of that. And this King of Wands reverse is basically someone really stubborn. I don't know, this feels very vengeful. I don't know why, but this feels very, very vengeful. Like, they really have it out for this person, whether this is you or this is someone else who is acting like this towards you. But it just really seems as though, like, they're just trying to just inflict as much pain as they can, because it gives them an ego boost, because it makes them feel powerful. It's almost as though this is the only way in which they can win. It's almost as though it's the only way in which they feel good about themselves, in which they feel like they have some sort of purpose almost. It's like by continuing out this scenario, this drama, it's like that's what gives them that purpose. Because as long as they are playing that role of being that person, of either being a dictator in some way, or very controlling or arrogant or whatever it is, like, that's what gives them a sense of purpose, because they don't know who they are outside of that role. It may be that they have played this role for very long, or they have played this role, you know, throughout their lives, that they don't know any different. And that's not to excuse their actions, but it's like they don't know any different, so they're going to try to find ways to continue living out that role, which is really interesting. And with this Knight of Swords reverse, this talks about someone who gets into something blindly, someone who like really follows their impulses, someone who like does something very quickly without really thinking it through, and then they later regret it. I don't know if this energy is associated with the Empress reversed. Perhaps someone who's a Libra or a Taurus, or someone who's Venus ruled, or someone very Venusian in some way, someone very beautiful. Perhaps like a natural beauty in some way, or like even a maternal figure. I wonder if that regret is associated with the Empress. Maybe the Empress kind of regrets okay, so for some of you, this may be kind of an issue where like the Empress may have like impulsively picked a fight, but then they regret it because the King of Swords like lashes out and just brings up everything up from the past. And then the Empress doesn't know how to get out of the situation. Or this may be like a general thing where like the Empress impulsively decided to like commit to this King of Wands, or impulsively like reached out to them for whatever reason or something like that, and then like regretted it because it led to this sort of mess here. I don't know why, but crime of passion comes to mind. I don't know if it's like a literal crime, but it just seems like a crime of passion. I don't know why that comes to mind. I wonder if people are like fighting over someone, like fighting over an Empress figure. Someone feels really stuck with this Eight of Swords. Someone feels really stuck. Someone really feels like they don't have a choice. They feel powerless. They feel helpless, which may be what this King of Wands reversed wanted. Like they wanted this other person to feel helpless. They wanted to make them feel small. It's almost as though like they didn't really stand a chance against this King of Wands, because there's a Page of Wands, which is someone who's younger with a lot less experience. And then we have the King of Wands, the person who has a lot more experience, who knows what they're doing, who's very aware as to what they're doing. They know all the ins and outs. So it's almost as though this person wasn't a match. And so now it seems as though the Page of Wands feels like they feel stuck. They feel like a victim. They feel like they don't have a choice. They don't know how to get out of this situation. They're caught up in their head. They're caught up in like this mental prison. And might find themselves even like being complacent due to that. For some of you, there may have been a halt in a creative endeavor, because there wasn't a lot of thinking or strategizing into it, right? Because we have the Knight of Swords reversed, which is the impulsivity, and then the Empress, which is like the creativity and the abundance, but it's reversed. So it's like that creative thing is at a halt. The birth of something new is at a halt. It's been delayed because there was a lack of strategy for some of you. Like, with this Page of Wands, it may signify that some of you may have had some sort of idea, or you were inspired by something, but you went at it too quickly, and so now it's delayed. So if that's the case for you, the message here is like for you to slow down and to think things through, to create some sort of plan, or to really sit down and think whether this is something that you wish to pursue. It may be best for you to create some sort of plan, some sort of blueprint, something, so that you have an idea as to what to do and really think things through, so that you can have like a kind of like a general timeline that you can follow. Because it seems like you get super excited and then you jump right in, you know, you buy every single tool that you require, and then in the middle of it, you're like, you either lose interest or you lose motivation for whatever reason, or something else catches your interest. And that might be a cycle that you continuously find yourself repeating or falling into. And so in order to like kind of overcome that, it seems as though you require to create a sort of strategy or something. Like, by continuously following your impulses, that's kind of where things get a little bit messy for you. And again, some of you might just be caught up in some sort of cycle of like really petty drama, where someone is getting an ego boost, or like someone is having some sort of empty victory, an empty sense of fulfillment. And someone might just be stuck in that cycle. Eight of Swords. Like, it just really feels like power plays. It feels like power plays, someone trying to have power over someone else. And whoever this victim is just feels like really like powerless. They feel like they don't have a choice. They feel like they don't know what to do. They feel like they have to bend to the will of this other person. But the thing about the Eight of Swords is like, no, you don't really have to. We're convinced that we do, but really there is a choice that we can take. I mean, there is a choice that we have. There is an option that we can explore. We do have choices. We do have things that we can do. We can choose to no longer play into this role. That's not to say that it's going to be easy or like instantly gratifying in that way, but you know, it's still possible. It's still a possibility. So that's really interesting. I also feel as though there might have been like some sort of shift in attitude, or like a shift in like almost like personality. Like there was a switch. Like someone at first may have been like very kind and like very cool, but very generous, very loving, very outspoken, sure, but like very outgoing, very fun, very optimistic. And then for some reason there was some sort of switch that led to like a complete personality change, and like now they're really bitter, very arrogant, very stuck in their ways, very like, is the word didactic? I don't know if it's didactic. I don't think so. But that's kind of what it seems like here for some of you. It's like a switch in personalities, and it might lead to some sort of conflict because of that. It just, for a lot of you Scorpios, it feels as though there seems to be like, it just feels as though there's a lot of ego clashing. An ego fight. That's really what it seems like for some of you. Whatever the case is, whatever the case may be, someone is feeling trapped, like I said, feeling helpless, like they don't have a choice, and the reality of the situation is that they do. No matter what scenario is playing out, whether it was the one that I mentioned in the beginning about like someone like dragging things out and kind of just like further pushing in the dagger and like twisting it to cause as much pain, to inflict as much pain as possible. Whoever the pain is being inflicted upon, they don't have to continue playing into that role. Like I said, it may be a little bit more, it may be challenging to get yourself out of that situation, but it's not impossible. You just have to believe that you can get yourself out of this. And especially like if you have the help of others, if you have the assistance of others, like you can definitely get yourself out of the situation. But it starts in your mind, because it seems as though this person has really kind of stripped you of like the belief that you have a choice, or the belief that you need this person, or like this person may have convinced you that you absolutely need them when that's just not the case. So yeah, I don't know. Some of you may be feeling really exhausted about something. With this Five of Swords reversed, you might just be feeling really exhausted of like dragging something out, or trying to make something work, and it's just not going in your favor. So it might be best for some of you to focus on self-care with this Empress reverse, because it seems as though that might be kind of that might have been pushed to the back burner for some of you. Self-care might have been pushed to the back burner, and so that might need to be brought to the forefront again, so that you can focus on rejuvenating yourself, revitalizing yourself, and making sure that you are okay. It's also important for you to set healthy boundaries with others, and not allow them to kind of throw you around and like push you around and things along those lines. Not like physically, but metaphorically. If they're kind of like pushing you around and expecting you to do as they will, to do as they say, it's important to like set healthy boundaries and to stand your ground, and not allow these people or these situations to kind of just like drag you around and have them just like, you know, succumb to them, if that kind of makes sense. So yeah, that's what I have for you, Scorpio. I hope that makes sense. This is kind of like all over the place. It was like different messages and stuff, but I hope that was helpful. I hope that resonates for you in some way. If it does, let me know in the comments down below. And with that being said, I will talk to you later. Bye.